The Mayor Pro Tem of the Town of Clayton, I call this meeting to order. I ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Dear God, our Heavenly Father, first and foremost, Father God, we give you all the thanks for letting us see another day, dear Lord. Dear Lord, as we go forth in the business of Clayton, Father God, we ask that everything we do in your will. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Let everybody say, amen. All right, before we get started, I want to do just a quick, because they're probably going to top out here to recognition. I am ecstatic to have my two sons, my wife, and half of my grandkids in the audience today. So I just want to recognize them that they're out here today. Probably my last pro tem. So that is Mike Jr. that had to stand, of course, or whatever. So again, glad to have them out here. So moving with that being said, any adjustments to the agenda?
No adjustments this evening.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign. All those opposed? Motion passes. Any consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign. Motion passes. All right. Administrative items. Clayton, for you. Nathaniel, you are up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, Council. Tonight, we bring you another episode of Clayton for You. Tonight's is a part 2 from our Parks and Recreation series.
Episode of Clayton for You. And today we're tackling all the details about programs you may not know exist in the Clayton Parks and Recreation.
That's right, we've got something for just about everyone. We're building strong foundations with preschool sports. Mighty Kickers introduces 3 and 4-year-olds to soccer skills, while Little Tacklers gets kids moving with football fundamentals, teamwork, and sportsmanship. Hoop Academy teaches ages 5 and 6 basketball basics like dribbling and defense. Clayton is also proud to host Journey League. This is an adaptive basketball program for athletes with disabilities ages 13 and up. It's designed to build confidence, teach fundamentals, and foster teamwork. Teens can get involved with the Clayton Youth Council. It's a volunteer organization that offers leadership opportunities, service hours, and community projects. At the Community Center, we have an amazing offering of year-round group fitness classes like yoga, Pilates, Zumba, and Tai Chi, plus fun new dance programs including family and homeschool dance, hip-hop, ballet, and tumble. To see everything Parks and Recreation offers, check out our quarterly program guide. It's the best way to explore all of our upcoming classes, leagues, and activities for every season.
So whether you're 3 or 93, there's something for you with Clayton Parks and Recreation. Follow along on our social media or website for more information.
Outstanding job as usual, Nathaniel. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Next up, we have introductions and special presentations from our Downtown Development Advisory Board, Mr. Greg Addison.
Good evening. All right. Good evening. My name is Greg Adamson. I am your chair for the Downtown Development Advisory Board this year. The purpose of the Downtown Development Advisory Board is to implement projects that enhance and protect the downtown district. It educates its citizens and business stakeholders about the value of downtown, promotes downtown as a place to invest, preserves and enhances the character, and protects the historic significance of buildings, facilities, and spaces of Clayton's downtown district. We serve as a review and advisory committee to the town council, and we support the Downtown Development Association's 501c3. This year's board members We have 12 up here. We have Jen Hamilton, Karina Knott, David Milliken, Valerie Mullins, Paula Clare, Marty Cornegay, Davin Cocklow, Stephanie Lanier, Katie Spalding, Andre Walden, Aaron Belcher, and myself, Greg Adamson. The DDA is comprised of 4 committees. There's promotions, organization, design, and economic vitality. The promotions committee supports event creation and planning, promotes downtown as a destination, and helps with the social media content creation. Design supports the facade grant management, promotes the facade grants and business education, and manages the historic downtown initiatives. Organization supports member engagement, volunteer recruitment and outreach, sponsorships, and the 501c3 corporation oversight. And economic vitality develops partnerships with business advocacy, downtown outreach, education, and coordinates with the town staff. This year in review has been an amazing year. We've had a lot of events going on. We've had the last day of school party in Town Square, which was a hit. Everybody was out having fun, as you can see. We've continued to encourage the participation and expansion of the social district as a drink provider during large street festivals. Square to Square this year was amazing, and being able to do it with July 4th downtown, having the fireworks there, it was an amazing event. Small Business Saturday is also coming up, and I want to make sure you all mark your calendars. It's going to be November 29th this year, so be on the lookout for that. This year, we brought back 5 concerts, and for the first time, we had over 1,000 people at all 5 concerts this year. We added some new events, such as a photo booth, where people could come up and take some pictures with each other. We brought in a local wine vendor to help support taking care of the wine distribution, and we also held a locals night where we supported 3 local favorites bands and had a night just for them. Some of the other things we completed were our facade grants. We've been working with local business owners to update the signage and painting at the Triangle Coffee Shop up right across the street here on 2nd Street. There's the exterior painting at the Leaf Plant Shop, signage and new doors and the station. In the works, we also have some updates at 106 North Lombard, as well as siding replacement at the Women's Club of Clayton. We've taken a different approach this year, and we've been a lot more intentional with trying to promote our downtown storefronts. Part of bringing in the wine vendor was so that we could redirect our efforts. During the concerts, we've been going out, engaging the crowd, trying to educate them about the DDA, giving them swag bags because that also gets their attention. And then we've also been trying to get our sponsorships. We've had over $16,000 in sponsorships this year from local businesses that have gone back into supporting downtown initiatives. Another thing we implemented this year was our downtown mixers. In fact, just had one yesterday at Deep River. Paul throws a mean curveball with kickball. It was a great time. We've got an upcoming one next month at the Main Street Gardens. We're going to be supporting them. It's just been a great event where downtown businesses and business owners can get together, talk about events, and get in the know about DDA and other initiatives such as parking problems, noise ordinances, or other things, and get to coordinate. Another great success this year was our downtown annual awards. We had a lot of very promising businesses and very deserving businesses. Our best new business was Fair Game. We had downtown contributor was a Spinning Mill Loft. The downtown design was the 312 and 316 East Main Street, Bernie's and Boulevard building, beautifully redone. Our business of the year was the market at Three Little Birds. And we had the Heart of Clayton Award went to Jones. Some of the other notable mentions, we had the You Wowed Us Award, where we recognized the Harvest Festival, Parks Maintenance, Social District Task Force, the Christmas Committee, and First Street Tavern. Our Rising Star Awards went to Clayton Rocks, Luna's Pizza, Church Cocktails, the Midtown Shops, and Alligator Steps. And our Volunteer of the Year Awards went to Carly Rye and CJ Batista. Our annual Christmas Village and tree lighting this past year was a huge success. Our storefront decorating winners went to Revival, 1869, Flowers by the Noose, and Brushes and Brows. The 2025 contest will kick off on November 24th. The 2024 Christmas Spirit Award went to Miss Ann with Clayton School of Dance, and the nominations for the 2025 awards are open now. There'll be more on our Facebook page this week about that too. And just a couple other fun events we have going on I want to keep you in the know about. This upcoming Friday, October 24th, we're hosting a bar crawl, as you can see by our little skeleton man up there. It's going to be a really fun time. We have Pink Friday coming up on November 21st. That's to help spotlight some small businesses and get some extra recognition to our small businesses. Same thing with Small Business Saturday on November 29th. Like I already said, you should mark your calendars. It's going to be great. We have our tree lighting December 4th coming up from 5 to 7:15 and the Christmas parade on December 13th. That is your year-end review.
Outstanding. Comments, any comments from council? Porter.
Greg, appreciate what you and the group have done. Definitely, it's a passionate group that's very active, and just looking forward to the remainder of the year, looking to Small Business Friday or Saturday, and then also looking forward to the Christmas tree lighting. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say that really appreciate your presentation. I kind of cut my teeth on the Downtown Development Board. I was on there for 6 years. To see what it's grown to now shows that everything that you all are putting into it. And I think that the things that what it does for small business here in Clayton, what allows Clayton to continue to grow. So appreciate all the work and all the things that you guys do. Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
All right, moving right on to public hearing, sale of multifamily housing, revenue bonds series 225 for Pritchard Woods, presenter, our very own financial director, Mr. Robert McKee.
Community Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. Tonight, we're asking council to approve 2 resolutions. The first is the actual resolution to authorize the issuance and sale of multifamily housing notes and revenue bonds for the Pritchard Woods project. The second resolution is essentially what's called a finance resolution, and it essentially approves the financing team that's been assembled, which is not part of the town of Clayton. Town of Clayton's not a component of the finance team, and it makes certain findings with regards to the issuance of these multifamily housing bonds. If council recalls, this is very similar to what we did for the Shotwell Apartments projects. Really not a whole lot of difference. To give you a little background, there was an inducement resolution that was approved by council back in December 4th, 2023. That allowed the preliminary approval to issue these revenue bonds. And then the developer Dominium, they obtained their mixed-use conditional rezoning approval last month on September 2nd. Also, typically, multifamily housing affordability bonds, they're issued through a housing authority. Unfortunately, the county does not have a housing authority. So the statutes allow the town to act as a conduit debt issuer. And what that means is we're merely going to facilitate the issuance of these bonds. We have no obligation to repay them. And it does not constitute a debt or a pledge of faith to the town of Clayton. The bonds will be paid solely from the revenues that are provided from the borrower, which again is not the town of Clayton. And once these projects come online, this is going to provide the community with an affordable housing option. So we'll have basically, if both projects go through and come online, you have Shotwell and Pritchard Woods as affordable housing options for the community.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. McKay. One thing I think is important, you said there's no, I think it's worth being said again, there's no obligation for the town to pay these bonds. So there's nothing that the town is incurring from an expense standpoint.
Correct. We have no liability to repay these. We're not taking on any debt. We're not providing any funding in any manner.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that's clear for the record. Thank you.
So we're just acting as a housing authority, which is the necessary requirement to do this kind of funding. So it just is passing through because
Yeah.
you've got to have that entity in place.
Yes, it's referred to as a conduit debt issuer because we don't have an authority. The town doesn't have a housing authority. Some cities do have housing authorities, but in Johnson County, the county doesn't have one. There might be a couple cities, Selma, Smithfield, that may have a housing authority, but the town, we do not have an official housing authority.
Thank you.
Anybody else? This has been noted as a public hearing. I'm going to open the floor. Anyone wishing to speak on this subject, please step forward and state your name and address, and you have 2 minutes. I'm going to close the public hearing and turn it over to council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Before, I was going to go ahead and get a motion on the floor, and before I do so, I was going to ask our attorney, can both of these resolutions be part of one motion, or do they need to be separate?
I would recommend taking separate action.
Okay, thank you. Then in light of that, I would like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-97.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
I would like to make a motion for adoption of Resolution 2025-98.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All righty. Moving on down to new business, downtown social district boundary expansion. Amy, the legendary Amy.
That was a great introduction. Thank you. I'm Amy Sharon. So I'm here tonight to talk to you about the Downtown Clayton Social District. So the Downtown Clayton Social District went into effect on July 9th of 2024. So on your screen, we've got the current map of the social district boundary and their current ABC permittees. In addition to the ABC permittees where you can buy a drink right now, there's also 24 businesses that allow you to take that drink inside, as well as some public spaces where you can sip that drink and walk around downtown, as well as in your outdoor festivals. So like I said, you can drink those in outdoor festivals, like this weekend at Harvest Festival. It will be the only alcohol vendor for the festival. So we do have a lot of businesses that are bringing in extra bartenders just for that, because it is the only place that, we have 15 to 20,000 people on Main Street Saturday, and the only place that they can get an adult beverage is in one of our downtown businesses, which is a great add to a lot of our businesses. And a few of them have mentioned that, last year that was a huge addition to their monthly revenue stream, which was great. Here's a few more quotes from some of our downtown businesses, from some of the things that they've seen, just how it's really been a positive. Over the last 15 months, some of the concerns that we had going into this was that there might be an increase in litter or calls to service to our police department. That's not something we have seen here in Clayton, and really statewide. There's not been a record of a large increase in calls to service to the police department. Our social district cuts off at 10 o'clock, 7 days a week, as well as we have increased the trash cans on Main Street, so we've not seen a large litter increase on our Main Street related to the social district either. So since we've implemented the social district, we've also seen our Main Street grow some. We are close to the finishing of the renovation of Old Town Hall, which is now known as the station, as well as Magnolia Inn has taken on new ownership and has increased the community events over there at the corner of Smith and 2nd Street. And both have expressed interest in being a part of, our downtown core and therefore our social district. One as a social district as beverages are welcome here, and one as a social district beverages are sold here. So which will be great, once they get on board. And we would love to be able to welcome them into our social district, which does mean expanding our social district. So tonight I'm here to ask you to vote to expand our social district, and what that would mean would be a vote from you all this evening, and then we're looking at an effective date of November 10th, which would give us time to resubmit to the ABC Commission. We would have to get their approval after your approval, and then move some boundary markers as well as update some maps and signage within our core. And then in the future, as additional businesses come with pedestrian connectivity and our downtown core is expanded, we would love to continue to expand it. But right now, this is what we are looking at. This is what our new map would look like with those new businesses added in. Obviously, the new jet out down to the station, and then the new jet out to include the Magnolia Inn, while still including all of our great businesses that are currently within the map. Do you guys have any questions?
Thank you. Councilman Porter.
Oh, I don't have any questions, but I do want to add, I'm excited to see that, it's been about a year and we have not had any really issues. And according to what, I know the police chief's not here tonight, but it's glad to hear that it's, done well thus far. And I've seen a lot of participation, especially during a lot of these parades and the events that are occurring. So thank you for what you've done.
Anybody else? Thank you. Appreciate it. I had some skepticism. I was worried about my concerns when they first came out as far as with incidents. And it's good to see that we haven't had any. So I'm all for the expansion part. With that being said, I will entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-10-04.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second for adoption. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
All right, strategic facility acquisition to support community growth. Mr. Stallings. Also Todd, our interim recreation director.
Mayor Pro Tem Sims, Town Council, it's a pleasure to come before you all this evening to present to you all a real estate acquisition opportunity regarding 1370 Cameron Way. This property is currently occupied by Clayton Fitness and owned by Patricia Durham and her late husband, Larry. The tax value is a little over $3.1 million and sits a little off of Highway 70, like I said, along Cameron Way near Shotwell Road. A little bit about the building itself. It was originally constructed in 2004, a little bit shy of 2 acres in total, and a little bit more than 20,000 square feet. You can see on the screen a blueprint of the current facility and then some of the interior shots of the facility itself, including its basketball court, its weight area, and a multi-purpose room that they're using for aerobics currently. The building itself and the property have roughly 50 parking spaces to help service the facility. So That's on the real estate side of things. This is a part of a acquisition to help expand our community's Parks and Rec offerings and senior services offerings. And so now Interim Director Todd Riddick will take us through what his thoughts and views of the future of the building might be.
Thank you, Joe. Council, Mayor Pro Tem, appreciate y'all having us here. Skip to my slide there. So my name is Todd Riddick. I'm the Interim Parks and Recreation Director right now. Before I came here, I don't know if y'all remember, I was hired about 1.5 years ago, but I came from 3 other towns before I worked here and worked with community centers, senior centers, athletics, camps, programs, every age group. So I have quite a bit of knowledge in these facilities, and excited. I've never had opportunity to potentially take on a building of this magnitude and this size, so it's really exciting. Our staff is also, a lot of our staff is here wearing our maroon shirts tonight in support of the extra opportunities we may have if this comes on board. So how does this fit into our offerings, I guess you could say? So as you know, you adopted the Parks and Recreation Master Plan last November. It's almost been a year. Some of the highlights of that were new facilities to meet demand, right? Our size community, 32,000-ish people, needs more than what we have right now. We have a facility with 1 gym right now, which is not much for a town our size. Also demand for additional indoor space, like I just mentioned. Like currently we've outgrown our recreation, our community center. When I left today, there was a Taekwondo class in the gym because they outgrown the space they were in. So that takes away the gym from other activities. So, we've outgrown a lot of our spaces. The gym at Clayton Fitness isn't quite as big, but we can still host some smaller youth in there with different activities, move fitness classes in there, whatever other capacity we feel like we can, other classes we can fit. Joe mentioned some of the rooms at Clayton Fitness. They are large. They're larger than most of our spaces at the community center. So definitely can shift some of our classes there or broaden our classes, broaden our offerings that we currently have. Sorry, my contacts have gotten very dry and it's hard to see right now. And also we have a lot of wait lists for various classes, camps and everything, and this will definitely help get more space for those classes. We mentioned intergenerational features in our master plan. Intergenerational, multi-generational, kind of used interchangeably, but they're both features that our master plan say that we need more of. So that could be, while there's a grandparent or a parent class going on, there's also a kids class going on. They can, have separate time and while don't have to tend to the child the whole time, you both have a class, or they have classes that they take together, either one. But those fit into that. This will provide us more opportunities to do those sort of things. Creating connections, development community was another feature of the master plan. A lot of active adult centers, senior centers have big spaces that, where they can just come talk, play cards, interact, games, whatever it is. This facility has a lot of that space. If done properly and if we do any renovations or anything, we can create a lot of nice spaces for that. Promoting health and wellness. I see partnering with other entities in the community to help bring in health classes, wellness classes, could be financial classes, whatever it is. Those all kind of fit into our what we should be offering. And moving on. Again, highlights from our master plan. So this is the master plan is a thick book. This is a closer look and just some highlights of that master plan. So you see in the top left, facilities was a big piece. We can check off by adding a facility of this size, 3 of those top 4. New facilities, indoor space, and intergenerational facilities. It won't hit swimming pools and water and all that, but it will hit 3 out of the 4. Programs on the bottom left, this would help us with fitness, wellness, adult programs, senior programs, and life skills are all captured in there. And then finally, on the right, this will definitely help with creating connections, health and wellness promotion, and intergenerational programs. And finally, right now, Clayton Fitness it's a very open facility. I like a lot of the features in it. This could help, with a lot of our space needs. It has multifunctional rooms. We can trade things in and out, fitness to a, wellness class, whatever it is. We can broaden our educational and fitness social offerings. It has a gym. We only have one gym, like I said. So this will definitely help with that. And assuming, that we do intend to purchase this property, we are planning on having an event next Wednesday, the 29th, from 4 to 7 on site. Let people come and see what facility could look like and what kind of space it has, and ask for people to come and give us ideas on what they'd like to see. So moving forward with that, with partners and the public input, we can make this into something. So, thank you.
Council? Questions, comments? Got a comment?
Yeah, first off, I want to say, this is a long time coming. It's something that the community's needed. And we have a lot of needs, but this is going to be very instrumental to that. I'm excited about the senior aspect of it. I have an 11-year-old kid, so obviously I feel like there needs to be adequate and plenty of things for her as well. But there's been a great need for senior opportunities in the community and expand those. The good thing about this building is it was for sale. It's already there. We're not having to build one ourselves. We can probably afford to build one for the cost that we're purchasing this one. And plus it would have been many years out. So this is something that should hopefully get online pretty quickly, and the community can enjoy it, take advantage of it. The seniors can enjoy it and take advantage of it. And I'm just excited that this is where we're at, and I'm excited about this opportunity. So I'm definitely in support of it.
Okay. We'll say something. Mm-hmm.
Sure. I was going to go ahead and I wanted to recognize Representative Donna White, who's here this evening, who was instrumental in obtaining some of the funding that will be utilized to purchase this. Between her and Senator Benton Story working together at the state level to get us a grant of $1 million to put towards the purchase. That was a big head start in making this happen. Our original ask a long time ago had been for $5.5 million to expand the current community center. This building, as Todd just mentioned and Joe mentioned, from a facility this size, we were able to advance that need way faster and in a facility that already has some amenities like the gym and the other racquetball courts and other portions of it that are really going to help us accelerate that. So big thank you to our elected officials that assisted in getting us that funding. The remainder of that, we have a portion of the 2018 bonds, Parks bonds, that those funds will be applied to the purchase of this building as well. That will allow us to expend those funds on the timeliness to be able to avoid arbitrage, which is the paying back of interest due to the tax, the non-taxable status of those bonds. And the remainder currently will be used for fund balance, but there is a resolution that would allow us to take out additional debt in the future based on some other economic opportunities. So just wanted to clarify where the funding was coming from.
Thank you.
Yes, I'd just like to add to what Councilman Casey said. I think this is great that this building became available and we had this opportunity. I'd also like to thank our Economic Development Director, Joe Stallings, for keeping his ear to the ground, hearing about this and giving us the opportunity to do what we've been looking for, an opportunity to do with senior programs and multi-generational programs. And I know that's been asked for a long time, and we've been working on it. You just couldn't see the efforts that we were doing, but we were looking for the right piece. And this feels like it fits the bill for our seniors and other generational folks. So thank you to everybody that worked on this. Thank you, Joe. I didn't know where you were. I was looking for you. But thank you.
Just echoing the same sentiments up here. Thank you so much for the work that went on here. And we've been talking a lot about Parks and Rec, we have our master plan. There's been a lot of discussion about it in the last few years. And then senior programming and a place for seniors to gather. So I really appreciated the examples of those intergenerational facilities that you all had shared with us. And I'm really excited to try to make that happen here in Clayton. So thank you.
Okay, so I want to start off by saying this is very personal for me. I want to thank the family because you all giving us, the town of Clayton, a huge opportunity, which you will see you will be eventually leaving a legacy. I want to personally thank Donna White because 4 years ago, and let me say this, that is still all of us as a council. We have things that individuals and people come to us with certain things. And when the seniors came to me with the issue where they're currently at, I reached out to Donna, and it was maybe a week or two later, and she came out there with me, and that started the whole roll with this. I'll be really good to get to hear her comments on the 29th. But again, with her work and Ben Sawyer, this has came to fruition. What I find funny is, is social media is what social media is. Of course, the word got out a little bit, and some people say this and some people say that. But at the end of the day, as the mayor says, I like to say, if you're mad because we're trying to do something for seniors, okay? If you're mad because we're doing something for seniors, we are in a sad state of affairs, people. We are in a sad state of affairs. Johnston County, Clayton, our senior population is growing extremely fast. Guess what? I'm in it. So this facility isn't something that we're just talking about just when you throw out there. It'll be something that myself and maybe even Ruth might want to use too. So yeah, I did call you out, Ruth. So we are really excited about this. As my tenure ends, as anybody that comes on council can tell you, and I know Donna can talk about, there's certain things that you look and want to get accomplished. This is a huge one for me personally. Again, can't do it without the council, but I began working on this 4 years ago. So I want to ask, could the family come up? Could Donna come up? And I want to get the rest of the council up. Nathaniel, can we get a picture? Oh, everybody going up front there? It's a monumental moment. Thank you. Senator Sawyer couldn't be around because he is downtown for a vote. But with that being said, I'm going to turn this over as soon as they get in their seats to council for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-86.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign?
Sorry, before we,
Yes.
does it need to say resolution or can it say ordinance?
Oh, so resolution 2025-86, thank you.
All right. With that small correction in there, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign? Motion passes. All right, so last one on the docket here, update the Town of Clayton Economic Development Strategy Plan. Joe, you still up?
Mayor Pro Tem and Council, pleasure before you again. I would just like to say really quick before I jump into this presentation, I owe a huge thanks to Chairman Lauder and to Blake Lee, who was here. Without those two, it would, I don't know that we would have had this in front of us. And I've been wearing Blake out for months trying to get this, try to put it together. So special thanks for him for helping with it. This evening before you all is the formal adoption of the update to the 2025 Economic Development Strategic Plan. This plan really comes about as a way to update our former economic development plan and align it more correctly with the council's adopted 2024 strategic plan for the town, as well as the current market conditions that we're facing in the town of Clayton. As you all might expect, things are moving rapidly in our community. We're seeing real estate at the highest prices that we've probably ever seen before. We're seeing more interest from the development community than what we've ever seen before. And this plan really sets out to help us guide the department's daily activities for the next 3 to 5 years. Of note, I wanted to make sure to recognize those who have been serving on our Economic Development Strategic Committee over the past several months. That includes the mayor, as well as Councilmember Anderson, also Ed Aldridge, representing the Johnson County Economic Development Commission, Robert Cupp, who was really instrumental in helping bring about the human resources piece and the healthcare piece, Danielle Kroger, who also works in workforce development and helped bring about insights in that realm, Jacqueline Lippard, who is a commercial broker here in town, Dean Penny, who is with Craig Davis Properties and is a well-known developer there with the Copper District, and then finally Dana Wooten, who is the president of the Chamber of Commerce and really helped bring about more information and data as regards to our small business community and the great work that they're doing here in the town. The update to the plan really revolves around 5 important goals. These goals are broken down more succinctly within the planning document itself. But for tonight's sake, we're just looking over the 5 main goals. One is to increase our competitive position through real estate, product, and infrastructure development. As we have seen a large number of residential units coming into our community, we're actively looking to try to balance that with a new industrial and commercial product, and is through the real estate acquisition or working with real estate property owners to ensure that we can have locations to site new and commercial businesses, which comes to the goal number 2, which is all about making sure that we're getting out in front of these industrial and commercial opportunities and retail opportunities to attract as many as we can to the community within good sustainable economic development efforts. So it's not something that we want to grow too quickly or too slowly. We are not a place for all businesses to locate, but the ones that are the best fit for our community, we want to make sure that they're here. We're also looking to strengthen our economic base through servicing our existing industry. Give you all an idea of the town's $5.5 billion tax base, about 4% roughly is in the manufacturing and industrial space. We want to make sure that we're actively maintaining relationships with those folks. So in the essence, we can help them grow their facilities here. We are ready to go. Also, in the instance of contraction, we want to make sure we're available to mobilize our economic development partners to help assist any employees that might be displaced, and also at the same time servicing those other small businesses that aren't in the manufacturing or logistics space. On the marketing side, we're looking to try to get out and make sure that the folks that we want to know about us as it relates to business opportunities and our unique business proposition. We have a great product to sell here. We want to make sure that those folks who are looking for a place like Clayton know that we exist and how we can help assist them in getting here. And then finally, looking through increasing our opportunities for intergovernmental relations to work with our neighbors here in Johnston County, throughout the region, and of course our delegations on the state and federal levels, whether that's leveraging grant opportunities or perhaps even working on joint industrial opportunities. We want to make sure that we have our hands out to our neighbors and our potential partners to ensure that we can lift all of our boats at the same time. Finally, we've already begun working on the implementation of the plan. If you all will approve it, we will do our best to get it rolling as quickly as possible. There are a few things that I think are pretty low-hanging fruit, but as you can see, the first year of the implementation of the new strategic plan is the hardest hit, so to speak. There's a lot of great things that we've got to get rolling. We do have a new economic development coordinator in our department that's going to be assisting with this. But over the next couple of years, we plan on, if the council approves the plan, to get this thing put in place and hopefully begin seeing some of the fruits of our labor as it regards to the plan itself. So that is the overview of the plan. I know we had a little bit more of an in-depth review at the work session, but I'm happy to answer any questions and look forward to getting started on this as quickly as possible.
Thank you. Questions? None? Presentation so good, you didn't have any questions.
Thank you, sir.
I will turn it over for council for a motion. Okay.
I don't know if anybody else has any comments, but you want to go first? I've been going first the whole time, so.
I will go first. I was just going to thank you for the work that went into this. It was actually a really enjoyable plan to participate in. Of course, that's kind of my thing, is these nerdy plans, but a lot of detail, a lot of analysis went into that, and I really like the direction, and I do like the short time frame that we're looking at here with very clear-cut goals in the 1 to 3 year range that I think are attainable. So overall, just thank you for that.
Yeah, I want to echo the same sentiments. Excited about this plan. I think as we continue to grow in the community, the balance is the key point. I know a lot of, a lot of the residential property tax is how we finance a lot of the things we do in the community, but by having a greater balance, focusing some of these things that Joe and his team is focusing on can help spread that out, so it's not just the burden of the residents in the community. So anything new coming up, obviously there's an opportunity to expand our tax base, but not through other means. And also want to appreciate that the focus on the plan is also on, obviously supporting the existing businesses in the community and some of the small businesses, but then also going out and seeking new opportunities in the community as well, both large and small. So appreciate what you're doing, Joe. Looking forward to this. Looking forward to greater things to come. And thank you.
And thank you, Joe. Serving on this task force was a pleasure, and having the input from the folks we've had the input from was vital in creating this, and hearing those points of view were a great achievement. Thank you for all you've done.
Thank you. With that being said, I turn it over to council for a motion.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-90.
Second.
I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. All right, so we are down to public comments. I'd like to open the floor for public comments. If you have a public comment, please come on up, state your name and your address, and you have 2 minutes. With that being said, I'm going to move to staff reports. Town manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Want to put on your radar tonight something that came to our attention just here in the last couple of weeks. I guess back in June, July, there was some legislation that made its way through downtown Raleigh that ultimately became law in August. that effectively increased the town's contribution for the state health plan by an approximately 2.4% of total payrolls annually. This obviously was after we had already finalized our budget for fiscal year 26. And unfortunately, even though we were conservative in our estimates of where the overall rates would end up, which worked out to be pretty much right where we anticipated, unfortunately, this 2.4% additional was not included in any of our estimates because, frankly, it was not on anybody's radar. We've worked with many of our other partners, the non-state units that are members of the state health plan, essentially, many of which are members of the League of Municipalities. This was not on the league's radar either. It kind of, in a roundabout way, came through as being affecting all of us as local governments that are members as well. So what does this mean to us? We've had several conversations about how we can avoid the implementation of it. Unfortunately, the legislation is very clear. It was retroactive to July 1, 2025 as adopted. So effectively, we now owe back contributions for July, August, and now September. And moving forward after September, that 2.4% will be incorporated into our monthly bills that we pay as the employer portion of the bill. For us, that's about a $500,000 hit. The total number between the three funds is a little over $540,000. That assumes 100% of our positions are filled. Unfortunately, we are not always fully staffed. So we believe the actual true impact to us by the end of this fiscal year will sit right around $500,000, with the general fund side of the coin, or side of that equation taking the majority of the hit. So unfortunately, as of right now, we do not see any relief coming to that bill being due. So we are actively moving to pursue to obviously pay the bills for the other months. All of the municipalities that are partner members are getting back billed effectively. And so we will get those paid up and we will incorporate into the monthly payments moving forward. Todd's going to come up here in a minute. Luckily, I guess a piece of good news, we do have a budget office and we do have Todd keeping an eye on kind of where we're at now that we're about a quarter of a way through the current fiscal year. So we do have some strategies and some ideas of how, at least in this current fiscal year, we can mitigate that and not have a major impact to our operational options. It will limit some of the opportunities we've been able to take advantage of at mid-year budget, like we have in the years past, with some underspent line items, but I'll let Todd talk a little bit about that. But overall, moving forward, the state health plan costs are going to have to be a big consideration of our future budget discussions. Obviously was not around in 2014, 2015 when the decision to join the health plan was made. But for all intents and purposes, once you join, you cannot leave. And so we are going to have to continue to work with our partners at the treasurer's office as well as others involved to try to make sure that we can keep those healthcare costs down for both the employer and the employee as much as possible. So not great news, but again, I think we've got a strategy, at least for this current fiscal year, to not let it impact our current levels of service for other areas, but it will be a big consideration moving forward. Other than that, just wanted to hit a couple highlights of some upcoming events. It is that time of year for Halloween and other great fall activities. Hopefully many of you are going to be involved this week with the kickoff of Harvest Festival, and then this weekend we'll have the ribbon cutting, I believe, Thursday night. On Friday, there will be a Boo Bash at the community center. So for anybody that's interested, that would be 6 o'clock at Clayton Community Center. And then, is that this Friday? Excuse me. Is that date? That was the 24th, yeah. And then next week, the Public Art Advisory is having a Jack-o'-lantern jamboree. And I don't know, Councilmember Casey, if you want to speak a little more to that in a little bit here, but that will be on the 30th. So as always, Halloween on the 31st, please be safe. Watch out for the kids, try to have some fun, but most importantly, make sure everybody is safe. Other than that, I'm done.
You speak to the green light?
So
the green light thing?
Project Greenlight, I guess that is before next council meeting as well. Project Greenlight will kick off as our observation for veterans Veterans Day and the celebration of all of our veterans. As always, we have opportunities for folks to participate with gaining light bulbs, turn the lights green there in November. And then can't also miss, since it will be before the next meeting as well, we will be having our Veterans Day celebration on November 3rd. Headliner of the show here to my left, Mr. Sims will be our guest speaker. So for anybody that is able to join us on the 3rd, please come on out.
Thank you. Town attorney? Town clerk?
No report.
Other staff? Todd?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. Ready. Open my little presentation here. So, my plan is to come before you folks quarterly to give you just a quick update on what our office has been doing, what we're planning on doing coming up, give you a little insight on what you can expect from us in the next couple of quarters. As you know, I've had a team this summer, an amazing team. One of my other team members here tonight, Lainey Taylor in the back, she's our Lead for North Carolina fellow. She'll be with me until the end of June, so that's very exciting. She's done some awesome work, as has Jessica Watkins, who you met before. We've done some pretty exciting stuff, exciting for me at least. Hopefully it's helpful at least to other folks. So I'm just going to click through a few items here and then show you one more thing we kind of built that you haven't seen before, right? So Q1, I'm calling Q1 as the fiscal year. That's July through September. Some of the things we did accomplish, we accomplished the budget book. We got it released. We applied for the GFOA Budget Presentation Award. No word yet on whether we have earned that award or not. It's usually about a 6-month process. We kicked off the mid-year budget review that Rich mentioned a little bit before. I'll go into a little more detail about that in a second. The mid-year, well, I'll do it now. So mid-year budget review is our first opportunity after budget adoption to sort of examine where we think things are going, if our plans when we created the budget back in February are still accurate to what we think is actually going to happen 6-8 months later. It's our chance to discuss changes in plans, trends that we hadn't seen before, variances that are popping up, to get a head start on sort of accommodating any needed adjustments in the budget. Just quickly here, I just want to, the budget development process, if you study these sorts of things, usually has 3 distinct phases: budget development, budget maintenance, budget management. That's what, when we were studying budget in college, it's budget development, maintenance, management. So development, we kind of adopted the budget. That was sort of the end of budget development. And now for the rest of the year, we're in these other 2 phases kind of concurrently. Budget maintenance is what we're talking about with the mid-year budget review. Noticing changes, needed changes and adjustments, and making those adjustments. Budget management is what we do every month. We have departmental meetings with budget, department heads every month to discuss their budget. So the mid-year budget review is an important process for us. We have meetings scheduled for November to meet with all the department heads to discuss their mid-year review. And I'll talk more about a little bit of that in just a second, sorry. Also, the third thing we kind of did in the first quarter was we did some data migration from our HRIS into ClearGov, so that we, the budget office, can sort of own a process called position control. It doesn't affect how HR hires and promotes and trains, but it allows us to track every single position that's been adopted within the town. If you notice, if you remember back when we adopted the budget, we have 350 adopted positions in the town this year. So we're building the system at this point through position control. That's going to allow us to look at every position and estimate how much we've saved by not filling that position, but turning over from one resignation to another hiring, things like that. When someone retires, we can kind of hopefully quantify the amount of lapsed salary that we're realizing because of that. And the reason I bring that up is it's really important after what Rich just talked about, this surcharge for the state health plan, for us to get on top of that and to sort of use those budget savings with confidence in order to address some of those, that surcharge. It was a lot for one slide. I'm going to move on. Okay. Budget development process, here's where we are with that. As again, I mentioned before, we're at the mid-year review. So we're asking department heads to look at their budget at the line item level and give us year-end estimates. Tell us what they're going to spend or encumber on each one of those line items. Sounds like a tall task, but these folks they were heavily involved in developing every one of those line items. We went through the base budgeting process. We went through all the funding package things, the boring stuff that we talked about a long time ago in ClearGov. So they're well aware of what their budget says at this point. So we're asking them to come to us in late November and say, you remember you budgeted this thing. Where are you with it? Are you going to spend it? Are you going to encumber it? And that sort of thing. So it's another opportunity for us and the executive team, especially in those meetings as well, to identify potential savings somewhere that we can use for things like this the state health plan surcharge and other things that pop up along the course of the year, as they always do. We also kicked off last week the capital improvement plan process. Chris Gallant with the engineering department kicked off that process, explained to the department heads how they can get started on making any potential capital improvement requests. So that'll go through the scoring process that you're all involved in at some point. So that's already started for fiscal year 27. Things that are coming up. Any needed budget adjustments after the mid-year review that those will eventually come to you because it'll be a budget amendment, but we're thinking about those at this point. We have also developed, I think I briefly spoke about this before, but we've developed a performance measurement and management pilot that we're sort of using a few departments across the town that are collecting data that they use for various things, and we're going to collect that data, organize it, analyze it, and then create some data visualizations with it that we will eventually bring to you, park on some websites, and most importantly, in the budget book at the end of the year, we're going to develop a kind of a comprehensive report that's going to go into the budget book that's going to show trends, changes over time. One of the things Parks was here earlier, we're asking Parks to share with us growth in community center memberships, growth in youth programming numbers, things like that. We have about 5 or 6 departments that we're working with that are sharing the data that they're already tracking. So we're not really asking them to do anything extra at this point. It's kind of low-hanging fruit for us, but we're going to do some cool stuff with it, I believe. Also, we're outlining right now a new training for all of our department heads. It's kind of a budget 101 sort of thing. Rich and I have talked about that from the very beginning since I've been here. We have new department heads. We have department heads that would love to have a refresher course, or we're going to give them one at least. And just to show people best practices in developing their budget, best practices in managing and maintaining their budget, those three phases of the budget development process. So we started that. Those are to come in quarters 2 and 3 maybe 4. Finally, one more thing that we kind of did in Q1 that we're pretty excited about. I'm going to share it with you tonight. With the idea that at some point in the near future, we are going to publish this on our website, on the budget website. So I don't have a budget website yet because I'm not really a department. I'm still fairly new here. So in the process, the communications team is redoing our website. I'm going to have a department website at that point. This will be prominently featured there. We're also in the process of making sure that we've cleaned all the data up, make sure it's accurate, especially for years prior. There are a couple of these tabs that you can look at prior years, but we just want to make sure everything is as accurate as we can get it before we kind of park it on the website for public consumption. But it will look just like this. It'll have the same interactivity that I'm going to demonstrate to you, and everybody with web access will have the opportunity to drive around on it. This is a Power BI dashboard. Our data manager, Josh Grubb, built this for me, so I appreciate that. So anyway, we have an About tab that tells a little bit about, I won't be up here all night, but you can see that the About tab is sort of tells you how to use the report and explains each one of the tabs that follow, right? We have a tab just for the funds. So here we have, excuse me, each of these visualizations are interactive to a point. You can click them and it sort of grays out everything that's not related to what you've clicked, and then it kind of brightens up, leaves the other one bright. So this is a dashboard that's it's pretty high level. We're talking about budget usage at this point for each of our main operating funds. We have the general fund, we have water, sewer, we have electric. So the general fund, about 65.4 million. Then you can come over here and look at this general fund column chart. It'll show you that this is budget usage by percentage points, right? So let's look at debt service. Debt service is about 61% of total budget for the year. We also have this dotted line that shows you where we are in the year. That's roughly at about 31%. Yeah, 31% right now. Some of these are higher than 31%. Some of them are lower. 31% is really just a guideline. We don't spend anything exactly routinely and smoothly over the course of 12 months. Things like debt service, we pay those things when they're due, right? So it's not like we're paying 1/12 every month. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. This is a very high level view. Departmental expenses is one level down, basically. We have a couple of donut charts up here, the budget by category. Right now, every department is selected. So you can see the entire budget is made up 26.9 capital outlay, 26.2 salaries, another 10 in benefits, contracts, operating expenses. But if you want to click into a category, let's say I'm going to click into Public Works, okay? You can select a department, and it'll change all these visualizations to show you relevant information for that department. So this other donut chart here, so again, this is all Public Works. This is how the budget is made up of in the Public Works Department. The only thing this doesn't include is miscellaneous expenses. It's not 100% of all the budget. So it includes mostly the operating stuff, right? There's capital outlay, there's personnel, there's operations, there's contracts. Here, this will show us how much of the budget has been spent or encumbered. For Public Works, about 18% of the budget has actually been spent, with another almost 30% encumbered, leaving 48.73% budget available. Encumbered, just for those at home that don't speak this language all the time, encumbered means that we have promised to pay up to an amount with some vendor or contractor. These include construction contracts, consultants, purchase orders, all those sorts of things. So you usually see that category in capital outlay, contracts, and operating services, right? So we include encumbrances as spent, right? Because we have $1 million contract out there. We don't want to assume we're only going to spend $300,000 because we can get ourselves in trouble that way. So we can count encumbrances as spent. Okay. Bottom chart here, the bar chart shows by category. So benefits here, we've spent this much actually, and we have this much left for a total of, and these bold numbers at the very end are roughly the amounts of the budget. Okay? Departmental revenues, same story, except it's revenues instead of expenses. Personnel expenses show the departmental total personnel budget. So we still have Public Works selected. So here we have roughly a $3 million budget, about $600,000 actually spent. You can see this in a bar chart here. This is the total budget here. This is what we've actually spent. And we do have a little dot here that shows, again, that 31%. So this is another tool for us to sort of eyeball where do we have the savings and personnel that we may be able to repurpose for this, the state health plan surcharge, for instance. You can also do this for, I'm sorry, you can deselect. We'll do it for the whole town. And then finally, vacancy report. This shows as updated as my data can be. HR is always moving, so this was updated as of this morning, what we've officially done, what we've officially hired. We have a total of 35 vacancies in the town, which is this is a 10% vacancy rate. So this is from the research that I've done and asking other towns, 10% is right in the kind of the sweet spot. It's 5% to 12% is usually pretty normal. So 10% is we feel pretty good about that. And you can look at specific departments as well. Law enforcement currently has 1 vacancy. So yeah, so this is going to live out on the web as soon as we can get it up there, as soon as we can be totally confident with, a lot of these reports you can look at, see personnel here. This only has this year. We're going to go back and look at prior years to make sure everything's accurate before we kind of put this up here and publish it all for folks to peruse and use. That's it for me. Any questions about any of that?
Councilman Casey.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This is a lot of information, really a lot of information, very detailed. Obviously gives a lot of opportunity. Can you just, because I want to ask this question, can you go to the funds tab again? Mm-hmm. I think it was the funds tab. So I just want to make sure I understood this, because I know, you give some people a lot of data and it can be interpreted different ways. The contractual services is at 98%. So is that basically renewed contracts from prior years?
Those are contracts that have been initiated this year. We do have another budget amendment coming where we do encumbrance carryovers for contracts that sort of spread across fiscal years. Okay. This is showing that the 98% of our budget has either been spent or is encumbered at this point. Mm. So, does that make sense? Yeah. So it makes sense for it to be high, for that number to be higher than 31%, because we've signed those contracts. We've said over the course of this year, we're going to pay you this amount of money. So that's what makes that bar look so much higher.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. Not uncommon in local governments. Many of our routine annual contracts that we have, whether it be the HVAC maintenance company or the termite pest control, those folks, most of those contracts that we have renew in July because they like to follow the fiscal year. So in July, our practice is to go ahead and encumber the totality of that annual contract. Those monthly bills will come in and get booked against it, but for our budget performance reporting, our assumption is that those funds will be expended by the end of the year, so that, to Todd's point earlier, we don't assume an underspend just based on a monthly bill or something like that, and then come end of the year, find out that that wasn't enough. So as we get more towards May-ish, that's when we'd really delve into those POs and liquidate anything that may have underspending to be able to then either repurpose or fall back into fund balance at the end of the fiscal year.
Cool. Thank you.
There's a lot of, just to add another type of contract, or software agreements, license agreements, things like that, we just go ahead, and Microsoft is a big one. Just renew that on July 1 every year. We know we're going to have that one for the full year, so things like that.
I want to thank you for this detailed job that you continue to do for us. And part of this is critical to the health and the life of our town and how we spend and stay transparent to our citizens. And it's critical when we get curveballs like we just got with the state health plan, to be able to look at where we are in a second and really know where we are at any given point. I love the line that shows where we are in percentages of spending, and you know that. And I know this has been a monumental effort on your part and your team's part to stay on top of this and promote and practice best practices. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So this is a direct reflection of, I know even the council people that came on here later on, myself, Porter, and Andrea, Councilwoman Andrea, wanted to see happen. All right. This is transparency. We talked about this, and we advocated for this. Big ships turn slow, but they turn. Big ships turn slow, but they turn. This one has turned to where we have a budget transparency report. You cannot get more transparent than this, other than attending the budget meetings, which we have open to that. I think it speaks a lot if you understand the climate that we're in today. What do I mean by that? Take a look right next door. I'm not going to name the house. It's in the news. There is a town, city, that is experiencing a huge heartache and having to get rid of over 100 city workers. Over 100 city workers. Stop and think about that. As people go in and they want to complain about, what we did and what we don't do, and the budget this and the budget that. If I'm not mistaken, please help me out on this, town manager. We're just a little bit under for the AAA budget, the AAA bond rating.
Yeah, that's correct. We're one notch below AA1.
One notch. And it's a direct reflection of the time that we put in on the budget, the things we have, and then what we wanted to try to achieve. And this is it, again, too, where we're getting monthly financial reports. So I appreciate it. Appreciate all the work that you put in, your team has put in. And hopefully we can continue with this, because the realities of it is, and again, if you look at the town, city right next door, these decisions that we make are real. These decisions that we make on this budget is real. People think it's just a game when you're up here and I can just go do whatever. It's not. You don't believe me? Then go back and look 2 years ago at that particular town, what they were deciding on and with the people that they put in place. These people up here didn't just take it as a responsibility. They took it as ownership. There's a difference between the two. And we own what's put before us right now. So again, thank you and your team, and I'm glad to see what this has come to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. Just one more thing.
Yeah.
The data for this is a really important part. I'm not providing the data for this. The data for this is coming directly
correct
from our ERP. This is this Power BI. One of the benefits of Power BI is that I don't have to go upload a spreadsheet full of data to this. We have a direct connection with our financial ERP. I'm sorry, acronyms. Enterprise Resource Planning Software, which is our financial system of record. This data comes directly from that. It refreshes, I believe, every 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Just wanted to point that out.
That's fine. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. With that being said, other business, anything from council? Anybody? You good, Porter? Yes. No, we're on general other business, mayor and council. Comments? You got a comment?
Yeah, I have a couple comments. First off, obviously, thank you for this evening. The Jack-o'-lantern Jamboree that Rich was talking about earlier, that is Thursday, October the 30th. It's sponsored by the Public Art Advisory Board, and we're also having a little excitement. The Thriller dancers with the Clayton Arts Alliance will also be attending. So kids, and I know there's a couple kids in the audience, please decorate your jack-o'-lantern. And then it's going to be at Horn Square, bring it out at Horn Square. It's Thursday, October the 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. So please come out for that. Other couple things I want to talk about real quick. With Horn, I know at one point in time, two issues I'd like to maybe be looked into. I know at one time the grass lot behind Horn Square was utilized for parking. I know that there was an irrigation system. I know it's very close to the railroad right of way, but I just want to make sure it's on, and I imagine it is on staff's radar to maybe, have that as part of the conversation as alternative parking options for downtown. I know it's been kind of roped off and for various reasons, but if we could just kind of make sure that, if there's a way we can utilize that space, I'd love to see it utilized more so. The next thing I have on the docket is for the civic groups that participate and do a lot for our community, the temporary signs for them. I know that there's been several civic groups, the Civitans one, and some of the churches where they're having blood drives, barbecue fundraisers and stuff like that. If there's any way possible that we could carve out or try to figure out a way to help with them, so when they, put their signs up, a couple of days before the event, that it's not deemed as a code violation and they get taken up. I've had a lot of crucial conversations regarding that, and I know a lot of other people on council have too. So if there's anything that we can do on that, I know there's just kind of two things that are going to be challenging, but those are the two on my radar. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I got a request. Some citizens, town manager, have come to me about right there as you come up under the bridge on Main Street, up under the bridge. So when traffic is, if you're coming, I forgot the street. Oh gosh, when you're coming out to Main Street, right there where the swimming place is or whatever, is that it? Where the cars, they said if cars are lined up right there, can we put a mirror or whatever, one of those big little, I don't know from an encroachment standpoint on the property that's sitting right there. I don't know how that works, but if you could check into that for me. Okay, I appreciate it. You already covered the green light. Other than that, that is it. Without anything else, we got to go into a closed session to discuss a legal matter and to discuss a purchase of real property. If I could ask everybody to clear the room, thank you. have to make a motion to go into closed session. So could I get a motion to go back to closed session?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. All right, closed session. Let's go. All right, I think we are live. So before we adjourn, I just want to take, unless something just crazy happens, I just want to take the time to thank each and every one of you. This will probably be my last time as Mayor Pro Tem, and just really appreciate it serving us. Of course, on the last day, December 1st, I'll say more or whatever, but last time striking this gavel here, whatever you want to call it. Again, really appreciate everybody, the time that you put in. People don't know behind the scenes with everything and the hard work that you put in. But from me to you, I personally thank you all. Well, if anything else to come before this council, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? Good night.